Okay, so we're here again for another chat with Dan Linfoot. We're having a bit of a catch-up after the start of the BSB. It's obviously been quite a ride for you, to speak. So start, what's happened so far then, Dan? I see obviously we've just seen the recent update about Tag. Tell us a bit more information about what's happening.
Yeah, so when we last spoke, I think was probably middle of lockdown or just after lockdown, and I don't think we'd actually started racing by then. So, yeah, as you know, viewers may or may not know, I've been with Tag Racing, so Santander Salt Tag Racing on a Yamaha for the last couple of years in British Superbikes. Had some issues last year with one particular big problem, which was chatter with the front of the bike or all the bike. And actually that carried through to this year. And as of sort of 2 rounds into the restarted season that we've had this year, the team absolutely correctly, decided to withdraw from the rest of the season because of this inherent technical problem that they're having with the bike, really. So, obviously from the outside, a strange decision. I was behind them all the way because it was the best decision to make. And they've gone away to sort of change their technical partners and machine for next year, and they're going to come back next year in British Superbike with a different package, which I'll be on. And in the meantime, obviously that left me without a ride or a seat for this season. So fortunately, or obviously unfortunately for the other rider, one of my good friends, Richard Cooper, crashed his BMW stock 1000 machine at the first round and broke his leg, which put him out for the rest of the year because it was a compound fracture. And yeah, just, it fell into place pretty well, really. He's a good friend of mine. I know the team quite well. I was happy to, step across or whatever and race in Super Stock 1000 for the rest of the year, just to try and have some fun and keep on a bike, keep racing. With a view of getting back on the Superbike for 2021. So that's what we're doing. I'm finishing the season off in the Stock 1000 category in British Superbikes for Batham's BMW. And yeah, that's where we're at. We've not had the best of results up until now, but we've made some progress. I'm enjoying being in the class. I don't really know who anybody is that I'm racing against, but that's fine. I'm just trying to do the best I can every time I'm out on the bike.
What's the bike like to ride? You've not had a BMW before, have you? Is it Honda and Yamaha?
No, never ridden this model S1000 BM. So it's obviously the first difference is the spec of the bike. With it being in the super stock class, it's a lot lesser spec tires, less brakes, engine performance, that sort of thing. But don't let that fool you. They're actually a really strong bike out of the crate, as in it's quite funny how close they can get to superbike lap times with so little difference from the street bike, really. So that's quite impressive. But no, as a race bike, it's absolutely fine. A different character from the Yamaha superbike that I've been racing, but immediately sort of gelled with it and got going at Silverstone 3 weeks ago now was my first race on it. And yeah, my results have been average. They've been like 8th, 9th area. So we need to make a bit of a step, to be honest, whether that's, to come from me or a little bit from the bike. I don't really know at this point. I feel like I'm riding quite well, but obviously I don't have a lot of experience in the stock 1000 class. So, I'm realistic enough to say that I think I'll get a little bit more sort of familiar and confident with it as time passes. But for now, yeah, enjoying the atmosphere in the team. That the team owner and manager, if you like, is Michael Rutter, who's a well-known ex-superbike racer. Very miserable, but very funny, and we're getting on really well.
Oh, awesome. So speaking of atmosphere, what's it like? Obviously, this is the first time you've ever been competing with no crowd, nobody coming in, nobody walking, no pit lane, no walks, something like that. What's that like? It must be weird.
Yeah, it is. It's especially weird on warm-up laps and cool-down laps when, usually you'd give a little wave to the crowd or at least look around and take in, how busy the track is. And for to just look around and see grass banks is like, strange, really. It's saddening to see. In the paddock, it's not too different because there's still working people and the same trucks and, support teams and staff there as always. So doesn't feel too much different in the paddock, but yeah, for definite when you're out on the track, a big difference. So yeah, sad really that fans haven't been allowed since the first round. I think it was getting close to allowing some fans back before obviously the most recent spikes again in COVID. So with only 2 rounds to go, I'm probably not as positive as what I would have been that we're going to get some fans back this year.
I think with the announcement today being, what is it, the 21st today, obviously the announcements that are imminent will come out. I think you'll be lucky to have any crowds this year, which is disappointing because I was looking forward to coming and watching some racing, but and a few other sporting events and whatnot. But I guess that's what it is, you know. Safety's number one priority, isn't it?
For sure.
So do you know one last question that might be on people's minds? Do you know what bike you're going to be riding next year with Tag? Does it decided what manufacturer, or is
not
that
100%? I think it's between a couple at the moment. The team are definitely, they're considering their options of what support they can get from manufacturers in terms of parts and the maintenance of the bike. So I think between 2 or 3. Realistically, they're not really going to be in a position to be able to run Ducatis. They're a very well-known, expensive, and not difficult, but intense bike to run throughout the season. So I don't think Ducati is an option. Naturally, there's the new Honda Strong. There's a new Kawasaki that's out. BMW are strong, but obviously struggling a little bit this year. So probably between Honda, Kawasaki, BMW. But like I say, at this point, there's definitely not one. Do
you have any preference?
Do I have any preference?
You did well on the Honda, didn't you?
I did well on the Kawasaki and I did quite well on the Honda, but obviously there's a new Honda out at the moment that's probably surprised everybody with how strong it's been, out the box. So yeah, we'll probably lean a little bit towards Honda, and obviously given that I've got quite a fair few contacts, with them as well from in the past. But obviously it's down to the team. It's them that fund it and have to arrange it all. So I can just give my little bit of input, really. And let's see if we make the best decision.
Absolutely. Right. Well, listen. Thanks for giving us a few minutes, and we'll hopefully catch up in a few races' time, and you'll be a bit further up the tables, getting used to that new BMW.
Thank you.